Hello again, and welcome to another Thursday evening here at Be Connected World. We have the incredible Stuart George here tonight for our education segment. For those that haven't met Stuart, why haven't you met Stuart? You are about to find out why I ask you that, because we have Stuart here on a Thursday night because he teaches us all things tech. He is a self-confessed geek. He did just show us his coffee mug that is a Rubik's Cube. And he is all over everything digital. So yeah, he's showing us on video now for those watching. So for those listening, he is showing us a real one. But I'm going to hand over to Stuart tonight for tonight's education segment. So all yours, Stuart.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and welcome everybody wherever you are. I hope you're warm, whatever time of day you're watching this. And I think we need to start off with, who's noticed something different about Zoom? Have you updated recently? Yes, you have. Okay, so we've got some nice thin style icons here. Very, very nice. And there is the off-center heart, which it's making me twitchy, but it's okay. I think we'll get used to it eventually, but that's okay. And there we go. So that's, while we're all looking at Zoom, we can look at that. Now, what I'm going to dive into now is customer success. So what we're talking about is a customer process so that you can win at business. So I'll just share my screen. Let me know when you can see it. One moment. With the power of Grayskull, no, with the power of Zoom, even with the wonky heart button. Here we go. So can you see my screen there? You can. Fabulous. Okay, we're going to step through. Now, customer success. So we're going to go through a bit of an overview over what I'll cover tonight, today, wherever you are in the world. So why customer experience and customer success are joined. We're going to go over the customer and client journey as well, because some people call them customers, some people call them clients. Okay, I'm going to go to the room right while we're here as well. We're at this juncture. Who calls them customers and who calls them clients in the room? Can I have a show of hands? Who calls them clients? We've got one. I think the majority has it. Okay, so customers sometimes. I think so customers generally would be in a restaurant or somewhere that is fairly potentially transactional, even though people do develop large customer bases as well and work with them. But when you're in a knowledge base service situation, we tend to refer to them as clients. So that's why we go through to client retention over the next bit. But digital tools that help, we're going to go through that as well. We're going to look at client and customer retention, and then we'll have some questions at the end. That'd be fantastic. Okay, marching forward, and you may have seen what we do as well. So all the digital things, there's just a short list. It does keep going, but I just thought I'd keep it to those. So yes, our three pillars really are around branding, websites, and digital tools and systems as well. We love making them all work together. Hence, everything looks connected there as well, because it is, and it should be. Let's go through. That's me as well. Excellent. In the grey shirt that I never wear. But anyway, here we go. It's always something black. Marching forward. Look at those busy people. Customers expect even more nowadays. Who in the room is experiencing this overwhelming demand, maybe before end of financial year, where people are asking questions and getting in touch and they're freaking out? Is everybody experiencing a bit of a peak in a little bit of concern or pressure from clients around this time of year? Bit of a show of hands. Who's experienced that just recently? Anybody? Anybody? Sabrina? No, just itchy chin. That's fine. Totally. Now, here we go. So marching forward, you will find this at certain times of the year. And we do know that clients today are getting more educated around things and they do expect more from you. So what should you do? Just abandon them. Don't worry about it. No, what you need to do is really get in there and nurture them, because you need to provide value. You need to be communicative. You need to follow up, be fast, and be supportive, because there are other people who do what we all do. And we want to be staying in the prime and pole position and retaining those clients. It's really, really important. Okay, so we're going to march forward. So the number one reason that businesses want to work with a small business over a small bit, over a larger business, is just because of that attention to care and support that you can give, and that personal support. It's quite amazing how many large businesses will go and work with a smaller business as well. Now, what is small in Australia? Up to $12 million. So there you go. Very, very interesting. Some fun facts. Okay. And that's the thing. A quick response to queries is really important. Absolutely. That is a really good reason that people work with small businesses. Okay. And it's important for everybody as well. And the top 3 reasons that a business will choose a small business over a big business as well is good customer service, help-friendly staff, and that they are a local business. Because how good is that? Now, local might extend to interstate, or you can make yourself feel loved by that business by just doing all the things and constantly. Okay, so we have clients in Adelaide, in Victoria, right across Australia, and there's some new clients appearing in Perth shortly as well. So it's exciting, and a few global clients too. So, but they feel like we're local because of the support we give as well. All right, so marching forward, here we go. So what we're going to find out now is some of the challenges. Okay, so leads and attracting customers. It's a big problem for lots of businesses. So onboarding and following up, managing databases, client retention is a big problem, and customer service and time. So these are all the things that challenge you when you're going to offer great customer service as well. So, oh, Lucia, hit me. You've raised your hand.
Right.
Go.
I've got a black screen.
Do you have a black screen? Oh my goodness, you've got a black screen too? Okay, well, let me read this slide because I'm unsure. I've just turned my video off. Interesting. We could be having a wonderful internet thing. Maybe the internet's frozen. So you can still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your face is frozen, Stuart.
That's good, because you know what, I'm really glad. Oh, there you go. Let's go with that look, because that's better than that wincy
Here we
look
go.
I had before.
I can see the screen now. Yeah.
I love it. Excellent. Alrighty. So what do you do in a crisis? Panic. No, what you do is you just turn your video off and wait. Okay, so here we go. So, and these are the concerns that every business has. Okay, and it doesn't matter actually the size, everybody has these issues. So, and it's all about if you can solve these.
Screen is black again.
Good stuff. Fantastic. Well, I'll move on. Maybe the internet just doesn't like this slide, and we don't like this slide because these are problems for us. Okay, we'll march forward. Okie doke. So can you see my screen again, or do we need to stop and start? You can see that? Great. Excellent. That slide, apparently that was redacted by the government. I'm joking. So now here we are looking at laptops. What we need to do to understand how to better support your clients is you really need to do a gap analysis. That's quite a corporate term there, but you can go through and work out where the holes are in your processes, and you need to go through and do a customer journey. Who has heard of a customer journey or has done one in the past? You've done one, fantastic. Who hasn't? I want you to shout out if you haven't done one, or you've gone, what the heck are you talking about? Dive in and say hello. Anybody there? Bueller? Okay. So
Lisa had a hand
all
up.
know what who had their hand up? Sorry?
Lisa,
go. Lisa, talk to me. Have you done a customer journey before, or you don't know what one is? Because we're about to find out, but hit me up with what you were thinking.
Yeah, I know what one is. I've just never done it. So
fabulous. Do you know why you haven't done it? Because they're bloody difficult.
Too hard work.
That's it. It is hard work. Guess what? I have got a way you can get through them quite quickly coming up shortly. It is really, really important to do it. Now, you've got to think about all of the steps. And sometimes you might have a fabulous client that you've worked with before, and you can have a conversation with them and literally do a bit of a sneaky survey while you're talking to them and say, hey, how was that work that I did for you? Was that a really good process? Was there anything that you felt stuck on? Anything that we need to go over? And so you can actually go through and analyze where there might be a problem, okay? But go through all the steps from the initial conversation to all the different processes you went through with your clients to make sure that you are nailing all of them, Okay, so that's really, really important to do. There are several tools you can use. And this is the thing too. Who in the room has a team? Or is it everybody? You've got a fantastic, your team. Okay, good stuff. Now, I'm going to say a problem is best solved with many, many hands. Now, I'm quite sure there's a very smart quote there we can put in there, but many hands make light work, I'm sure. So this is the thing. If you've got a team, involve everybody. And for yourself, Lucia, being that as you know, as I think we've discussed before, my mum was a nutriomedics lady as well. Didn't end up with the fancy car. She wanted that car really, really badly. But anyway, but she had distinct processes that she followed. Do you have a distinct process from meeting them right through to, you know, in the middle, I think there's the checkup from the neck up, and then what happens next? Can you give us a maybe 4 steps when you're working with a client?
Okay, so the first thing is to do a skin analysis for them.
Yes.
And also a makeup analysis for them. And depending on how they answer that, I go through what they're currently using. So basically, well, to go through, they will, if they're coming to me or I'm going to them, they'll bring all of what they're currently using out. I've done the skin analysis, and then I go through and I have a look at their skin, and then I recommend the products that would be right for them based on their concerns, and I address their number one concern one at a time. I don't try and address everything all in one hit, because it's too much for anybody. So we address the most important concern that they've got with their skin. Then I recommend products, and then I look to see if what they've already got will answer, you know, my recommendations. And if it doesn't, I then recommend the products that would, you know, answer those concerns. So so that's, you know, and then from there, I do the same thing with their makeup. So that's somebody who's up for it, and you know, puts aside the time, because it takes a good 2 hours to do that, to do it thoroughly and properly. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. You give a face audit. No.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much a skin audit and a makeup, skincare audit and a makeup. And also I go through all of their makeup and really get them. Often they'll like bring their garments with them. Like they'll bring a day outfit, a work outfit, and also an evening outfit. And then I recommend to them which products, and then everything that they're not using in the way of makeup, to actually take it out of their makeup drawer. And anything that's dated or smelly, like things that are smell off, to be turfed, because they'll have bacteria in them, and so they need to get turfed. And then, you know, address any gaps that they may have and show them the best way to do that. And for most women, it's better for them to actually have their own account where they can then buy at the absolute best price. So if they don't want to do that, they want me to be their consultant, then they pay me for doing that. But otherwise, they can have their own account and they do their own shopping. So that's the process. Yeah.
I love it. That is fantastic. And now here's the thing. There's a common thread here where you're really adapting a set process to a client. That was really good for you to go through, and you're addressing their concerns and then coming up with solutions as well. Lisa, does that sound difficult now? Because you've heard how it applies to the wonderful Chia and the checkup from the neck up. And I think part of everybody's business, if there's something a bit smelly in your business, I think it's time to get rid of it. I agree with that one. But Lisa, is there anything in there that you can relate to, or I'd love to hear from you?
Yeah, it's you know, I've made a lot of notes, so it's something that now I feel that I can have a go at doing. I guess I've probably just been aware of it and pushed it aside because there's so much of that stuff. You know, I just want to work with my clients. You know, I don't want to do all that sort of stuff, but I can see the benefit of it for sure. And especially now that I'm, you know, starting my business from scratch all over again, and with different modalities, different ways of working, both in person and online. It changes everything. So, and I'm bringing in a new coaching program as well. So I can see the importance now of taking that extra time and bringing it off the side shelf and giving it a go. Thank you.
Oh, Lisa, you've just said all the right words. I love that. That's brilliant. And look, it's really interesting to bring that up as well, is that, look, everybody will see something in their business or has something in their business that they'll go, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll get that done. But the thing is, this journey and the pre-journey as well, because I'd love to hear as well how you find people and how that whole process works too, because that when you go through and analyze that, you can work out how to do things faster, more efficient. There might be some steps you can get rid of, and there might be some steps that you're skipping, which are really, really important as well. So and one of those things is actually, depending on the project, if it's a larger project, you might want to do an onboarding process. And so with Lucia, there might be a thing where you actually have it could be like, you could keep it down short, it could be 5 slides that you do online, and you let people know what the process is going to be, because then you're setting expectations as well. So an onboarding is a really, really like it's a fantastic process. It may not suit everybody, but if you can adapt it, that'd be brilliant. And I'm quite sure. What about you, Pat? Like, if somebody's coming in for a grant, if there are steps, and hello, Pat, are you still there with us? Is Pat still on? Yes, Pat, you're still there. Fantastic. So, Pat, when somebody's looking for a grant, I know what they should do. Just sign in 10 minutes before the grant goes to where and fill it out themselves. Is that correct? Or should people applying for a grant go through a distinct process involving you? what would you go through your processes currently with a grant hopeful?
Well, actually, taking it backstage further, the people that come to me are actually trying to figure out what it is they really want. And what it turned out to be was they want somebody to tap them on the shoulders when there's a grant that comes along for them. It's just, so we can all immediately rush to say, oh, they want a grant and blah blah blah, and they're asking about, and sometimes I know where they can, if they wanted to and spend the time, they could do their own research. And so the first thing now I just brought that down, and like today I've just signed another one on board. We've now put into our offerings a 4-month trial period where we're actually researching the grants specifically for them. So we're tapping them on the shoulders. That's what they're really wanting. Even though they could go away, as I said, if they know where to look and know what to look for, they could do it themselves. It's that time, money, and effort triangle. And it's the time and the effort that they want to eliminate. So as you said, going back to analysing that whole process, instead of diving straight in and trying to, sort of say, yeah, there's grants available and blah, 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 and overwhelm them, we take them right back to that initial process of getting them, onboarding them, as you say, Stuart, into the process of being part of the family. Does that make sense?
It's as if you're reading my mind, Pat. This is fantastic, because you just act. Sometimes you might know what your true service is, and you've got to stop and have a think about their outcome that they're wanting. And sometimes it might be in a different order, or it might be completely different to what you actually think it is. So, and that comes through, there's a couple of things you can think about: the done for you, done with you, or good Lord, I don't know where I am. So sometimes you've got to go through and analyze this and work out where people are and really what they're looking from you as a supplier. Brilliant. Okay, so how about a step-by-step guide on customer journeys? Would that be helpful to anybody in the room? Would that be handy, Lisa? Because, all right, good. Because what I know is that people get stuck, and if you leave them to their own devices, nothing will happen. So now I do have a downloadable which you can get from me, which will make it lovely, a lovely processing to go through. But looking at this as well, this may not apply to everybody, but hang on a second, Pat. The awareness stage, you just discovered that one, didn't you? Is that they actually need to know what's going on, and this is where they find you, and then you can actually say to them, hey, look, what do you really need from me? And discover what that is, and then provide that before they're even thinking about it. It's like you instantly become Hermione. I didn't mention Harry Potter in the room, but let's go with Hermione, because we all know who the absolute smartest one is in that group. Okay, marching forward, this is really good. You see, so what are they thinking or feeling is really important, and what is their action? What or where is the buyer researching as well, so you can find out where they could potentially find you as well. Might be in a networking meeting. It might be that your sister-in-law is a hairdresser and she happens to have a stack of your business cards there and actually works with a lot of business owners and starts talking to them and says, oh, you might want to talk to my brother-in-law. That's happened. So that's exciting too. And you never know who can actually connect you, but it's good to go through, how can I create awareness? Where's it all happen? Okay, now let's go through the next thing. I will be sending this out to all that request. Okay, now that's me. Oh my gosh, this is as if I was about to, so you can scan the screen if you like, and then I can send through those journey guides for you. They're in the form of a spreadsheet. So we all love a good spreadsheet, but no, it's quite a painless spreadsheet. And you can step through with those with joy. It's going to be fantastic. Look out, Lisa. I'll be expecting to see them next week. No, I'm joking. Okay, now marching on. Let's have a look at this too. So what we want to talk about now is that is a quite a complex flow chart. And who's made one of these, or who started one? Well done, Pat. Fantastic. Okay, Alison, brilliant stuff. So there are several ways that you can do this. Napkins, probably not advisable. Look, whiteboards, post-it notes. Post-it notes are good. You can rearrange them. And you can do several things. Now, software is good too as well. So here's the certain things that you can use. You can use Visio, use draw.io, and if you're on a Mac, Alison, if you're on a Mac, you can use a fantastic program called Diagrams, which is what I've used here. And you can connect things, you use different symbols, you can reuse things as well. Brilliant. It's a brilliant little system. I love it. So Diagrams. Okay, so marching on. So this is the thing. We've got all of these different systems. We all know we've all had a WTF moment, but all these other systems to help, like that one, to help map everything through, you need to be able to meter and measure. You need some good systems. There's a lot of software. So, and of course, you've got the Be Connected World CRM. There are lots of things that you can use too. So in amongst all of these tools and systems here, I use almost all of these. So they've all got to talk. They've all got to work together. And that's all about integrating. There's a couple of things that I've moved on from, like Trello, I want to have you, but look, there's actually another screen. I was invited to go and present at an event, and they drew this big web of all of the different pieces that I use, and I left four stems off, but it looked like a giant scary octopus, but I love it. And it helps me to do what I do best. So systems and tools, I love them. That's it. Who has a mug that looks like a Rubik's Cube and one? And there's actually one behind me that's completed, but I don't want to touch that one because that was a happy accident when that happened. Now, marching forward. So this is it. We're now talking about going back, and I hope we've got a little bit of time. I know that we had a little bit more time, Alison. Okay, fantastic. Got to check. So, and this is from that awareness stage. Where do people find you? It could be social media. It could be from your website. It could be a referral. It could be from a referral partner. Who's dug into referral partners? Just a bit of a check. Who can you have? Fantastic. Lisa, referral partners. Have you got somebody who works in and along the chain of what you do and how you do it, that maybe is adjacent to what you do, that might be able to say, you need to speak to Lisa? Have you thought about that before? A referral partner?
I've thought about it, and sort of when I used to have my business running in a different town, different place, I sort of had a couple of those on board, but now I moved here and I don't really know anyone, so I'm just building up the connections now.
Love it. Brilliant. You know what you've got? Scorched earth. It's the best place to start from. Sometimes people need to do that anyway as well. Sort of go, well, let's give it another crack as well. So this is the referral partners are brilliant. Like across the board for us, we've got people involved in IT, people in hosting, people in the marketing, even other website developers are great referral partners for us. It's brilliant. So you've got to find out in this whole flow from lead to conversion, how to go through and discover and then work with everybody as well. And you've got to qualify everybody who's taken on board a client they probably shouldn't have. Bit of a show of hands, anybody? I heard a funny term the other day, earthquake client. So we don't want earthquakes. What we want calm and peaceful. That would be lovely. So establishing who you work best with, you can actually think about all of these things with this whole customer journey. You can actually start to think about, actually, that Desiree, she's a fantastic client. I'd like more clients like Desiree. And you know, and Lucia, fantastic. That was a great process. So this is the thing. You'll go back and think about the people you like to work with, you love to work with when you're doing this process as well. Because if people want to skip steps, if people are pushing ahead and it's all going a bit haywire, you'll know that they're potentially not a good fit. So, and it's okay to say no. It is okay. And you can always refer them on somewhere else as well. Okay, so that is a very, very high level view. Okay, you can see the complex one that I had up before. This is a high level view. Okay, no, and it is a delicate process. It certainly is. And you, as the business owner, are actually holding the pin over the balloon constantly. The stress. It's not stressful if you've done a customer client journey right the way back. Okay, so really onboarding is brilliant. So there should be a welcome. Okay, which is brilliant. Then you need to inform and educate them. You need to set expectations, explain who's doing what, check the brief. Did I mention check the brief? You should really check the brief. So that you know what you're doing for them and they know what you're doing for them, and then confirm the brief. Really, really important to do that as part of the whole process. And you've got to be, or at the same time, you've got to be all these things as well. Warm, positive, listen. Don't get too technical. Pat, very good point. Don't overwhelm. Okay, that's not saying that you overwhelm, but I'm saying you found that you don't want to overwhelm people with information. It's a really big thing, and because if you do that, you become their guide. You really need to become a guide with your clients. Really, really important. Okie doke. Now, gosh, how's everybody going? Do you need a breather, a lie down, a nice Vovo? No, we're heading down the bumpy road of during the project. Here we go. This is what you shouldn't be doing. Shouldn't have a burst of energy, then you go to complacency, and then your communication drops, and you got slip ups. What happens to the clients? They hit the road. Okay, not good. All right. So, what you should be doing is actually a lovely bunch of processes, and think about this as a great pathway to success. Listen, give updates. You got to have lots of positivity. You've got to be checking in all the time. You've got to prepare them for the steps. You've got to educate them, and then of course, punch above your weight. That's the thing. And look, that doesn't mean that you need to start bleeding for people, but if you can do that little bit more, it is a fantastic thing. Okay, because then what's going to happen? You'll hang on to them, and they might come back when they've got their next problem. Okay, that's it. So imagine that, Lucia, if you didn't look after them and do all those steps, they get, yeah, whatever. But no, what they're going to say is, oh my God, I got rid of that pot of, I don't know what that was anymore. And look at this, my makeup matches everything I'm wearing at the time I'm wearing it. It's brilliant. Okay, so this is it. Client retention after the keys are handed over. Okay, so what do you do next? You've got to stay in touch. You can do this with a text, a WhatsApp message, posting on social. What about that? And doing a shout out to people you've worked with, which is brilliant. So, and advocating for them and getting them connected to people as well. You can really do so much. Okay. Now, and like, just for example, this is one of our clients. We did their branding, built their website, and then he came back and said, do you do uniforms? And I said, do we do uniforms? Of course we do uniforms. So then he bought a full, like for his company now, they look like a football team. They turn up and they look professional, and they've even got sports wear so that it's fantastic for when they're out doing the hefting and the packing. Okay. And this is the thing. And they've just come back again because they've bought a brand new storage facility a while back, and they really want to step it up and reach out to more clients again. So, and they're buying a truck, a big truck. They've already got several. And the biggest one, I think, is going to look like the one from Knight Rider that Kit used to drive in and out the back of. I want to go and look at that. I'm a bit excited. Yes, Dweeby again. But this is the thing. You should be promoting your clients and do more for them as well. So, and they'll come back. And so if you share what you're doing with them, share their success, it's a brilliant thing. Okay, marching on. So phone calls and genuine contact. What the heck? Ringing people up. Who would have thunk it? Okay. Now you can create a subscription to retain clients as well. Emails, newsletters, blogs, Be Connected World, doing everything that you can on Be Connected World and using all the systems and tools. Connect on their social media. There's a thing. Lisa, write that one down. So when you work with a client, you need to follow them. That way you're sharing the love, okay? And you can comment on their posts. Now, most importantly, and don't be Darla. We all know what happened there. Well, actually, no, Nemo survived, like the other end of it. But look, you don't want to do that too much. You've got to be careful. And remember, you're holding the pin. Okay, so, but it's just a careful way of following them through. And this is the thing, you need digital systems so that you can grow, you can track, you've got your business administration covered, you can collaborate better, and most importantly, you can save time. Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the road here, but no, we've come to question time. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'd love to know, with all of that information, has anybody got any questions whatsoever? And I'm back again. I think my video can work now. So if anybody has any thoughts, any ideas about what to move next onto as well, let me know. And has anybody had clients just leave because they, you sort of thought, why did they go away? What happened there? So it does happen. Sometimes there's natural attrition as well. And they do move forward and do different things. But if you can hang on to those clients, it's actually a better approach, because it's far more expensive to go out. And if you think about putting a value to it, to go and find new clients rather than to hang on to the ones you've got. So there we are. So having that customer journey in place, knowing how to set expectations and how to work with them is really, really important. And you too can go on to fabulous success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart.